Welcome to another race with an Everyday Zwifter. Today we're having a look at the 3 village loop with the EVOCC Sprint Series. It's a 13k circuit. Starts flat in the first third, hills in the second third, and then a gradual downhill in the last to finish. It's a new field of riders to me today, a bunch of Aussies, and all categories are represented. Only 2 A's though, so that should ease the pace off a little bit. Here we go. My challenge today is to not miss the splits and try and stay with the front C group. It's always a washing machine shuffling effect of riders at the start. So far we're all strung together. Just got to close those little gaps and keep moving forward. There's a gap ahead. Someone's going to close it. I'll keep moving forward and try and tack onto them. Get serious, get low now. And just like that, half a kilometre, there seems to be a front group and a back group. They're already just dropping off out of the draft. And that's phase 1. Phase 2, try and hang on to this front group and not get dropped. My goal now that I've made it here is to hang on, not dangle like this, and see if I can build a gap over the chasing C's enough that when I do get dropped, I'll be able to stay in front. Got the gap to 11 seconds now, coming up to the sprint point and power up. And we've got the aero power up, so that will definitely come in useful at some stage. We just have to figure out when. Riding through all this bit, I'm pretty much on threshold the whole time, so that's why every now and then you see me dangle out the back and crank it up just to get back in that draft and just try and stay with them as long as I can. Make the most of their draft and the speed they generate. .2 kilometres and we just hit the first hills, and it doesn't take long for the field to really string out and the gaps to form, and that is pretty much the end of phase 2, and we're into the next phase where we go up the hills. I thought I'd be first to drop, but Zach and Joe is first and I'll be second. Everyone's pretty well flying up the hill. I'm just needing to have a bit of a rest and just try and ride at threshold, not above, so I can make it to the end. So 5.5 k's down, That's the first set of climbing done. We'd had a gap of 28 seconds, now it's down to 14 or 10. The leaderboard is a bit of a dog's breakfast. I'm not sure what time is which, but it's about 13 or 14, I think. Now the chase group's got an A-grade coming through, leading the charge. Fortunately, he's got a gap on them and it's not giving them a draft. He's coming up at 4 watts a kilo. I wonder if I can jump in his draft for a little bit. Renault comes past and steps it up to 5 and 6, so I've got no hope. The rest of the group are 5 seconds now. Put the hammer down a little bit and try and keep a gap, hoping for the downhill so I can get away from them. And bonus points to anyone who can spot the design error in between 7 and 7.1 kilometres. Something on the road. But they're still coming and they're not that far away. So I've decided to back off, save the legs, let them come up, and we'll have to work out plan B. W comes up at a fair rate of knots. He seems like the strongest rider in the group, so I definitely want to stay with him, and the rest come and join. So now begins phase 4, where we catch our breath, try and freshen our legs for the finish. Looking at Zwift power before the start, I know that Jones is a strong rider. W wasn't there, but he seems strong and hits the front regularly. I'm not sure if anyone has a sprint on them. So what can you do? I'm just going to do my normal thing, I think, and go from 400, 300 metres and see how far we can get with this aero. Coming into a village now, and this begins phase 5. Slow down to real time because W is about to power off the front. He just sneaks up on 3-4 watts and then just builds from there, 5 and 6. Doesn't go red, doesn't get out of the saddle, but he is off. Jones thinks about chasing, wonders if anyone's going to come. But no, we're not interested. Being over a K just feels a little too far. Put in a big effort after the race so far, but still, I decided we don't want to let him get too far. Don't let him get too far. The sprint is coming up, and if we've got a small enough gap, then we might be able to catch him. So on one of the biggest downhills of the race now. Looking back at the replay, and hindsight is a wonderful thing. I probably should have gone it here at 500 metres with the downhill on the arrow that would have generated a good amount of speed. Instead, it's 300 metres and we are off in high speed pursuit. Unfortunately for me, I didn't leave enough time and I wasn't able to catch W. He made a good move. I was able to out-sprint the others in the group, so I came 18th overall. 3.3 watt per kilogram was best for me. So I've measured a small increase in FTP, hooray! Some of the other Cs are registered pretty high in the watts per kilo, so here's hoping next time they might go to a B. So lesson from that one, if you're racing the 3 village loop and you've got an arrow or a draft or something that helps you speed up, start sprinting from 500 metres and you might catch someone in front or leave someone behind. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something out of that. Catch you next time.